Okay, I'm getting serious now. For the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been thinking about a new truck, trading in my 2006 Ram 2500 on a new one. I've kind of been looking around, looking at the options available, and so I think I've narrowed it down to about 3 trucks. So it's time to get serious. I am pulling the decals off of this truck. So when I do make that decision to get rid of it, this part is already done. So I'm just heating up the decals and then I'll just peel them off. I don't like my name out there anywhere, just roaming the countryside, so I do try to take these decals off of the truck before I get rid of them. Okay, I think I'm going to need some Goof Off or Goo Gone to get this residue off of there. I may have to run up to my local hardware store. I'm not sure that I have any here. Damn, I surprised myself. I did have some Goof Off on the shelf here at the shop. Okay, that is one side down. I was starting to get a little concerned that the Goof Off was just rubbing it into the paint. So then I tried the hand cleaner and then this other special concentrated magic. Then I went to the Armor All car wash. And so then after putting those 3 products on, I came back to the Goof Off, and that got the rest of it off of there. So it's not too bad. Of course, the heater comes on before I finish this. I can see a little bit of the outline where Deep Creek was. In a certain light, you can see where it was, but I think with a little bit of washing and waxing, most of that will come off, and the next person that buys this going down the road at 60 miles an hour, nobody will ever know it was my truck. Okay, that's what it looks like after I get the decals off. That's the easy part. Now I'm going to try something a little different on this side with the Goof Off, because I really had to rub on that other side to get it clean. So I think I'll try something different. Not quite sure what, but I do hear maybe some sleet out here. Yeah, a little bit of sleet, maybe some snow flurries mixed in, but it's about 40 degrees or so. So nothing is going to stick or get icy. That's not the forecast anyway. So I did not put the plow or the spreader on the other pickup truck because the forecast had changed. It is, what is today? Today is February 16th, Saturday. Okay, back to the job at hand in here. Let me finish getting this off. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but my wife is the one that designed this original logo for me. This was back before we were even married. That is true love. So the Deep Creek originally, I'll have to go back and see if I can find a picture, but she started out, the original sign she painted that we put on the side of the shop here was different color blues going down the Deep Creek. So it started with a lighter blue and just kept getting darker for that, you know, deep feeling. And then the corn and the wheat, that design she did as well. So yeah, she did the whole design, and then from there we had it made for decals to go on our pickup trucks. But through the years, the resolution of the decals just got a little worse. So this was the last original logo that went on this truck, and you noticed the corn and the wheat were a little faded just because over the last, gosh, I guess that was 30 years ago that she designed this decal for me. Everything has changed. You know, when 30 years ago, we were still using charcoal to draw with, and there was no computers or pencils or crayons back then. So to get this to a digital format in order to do the decals was a little difficult. The first decals we put on the trucks looked good, but as I said, through the years, it just got a little worse. So this decal has changed a little bit on my last truck. We did some modifications so the corn and the wheat look a little bit better on it. Well, I forgot to turn the camera on. As I started this side, I said I was going to do something different, so what I'm doing is just pouring the Goof Off on and wiping and keeping a clean spot on the cloth, and that is doing much better. It's not smearing it around. Okay, this side went much better, trial and error. About 25 minutes total to take this side off. I just had to use more Goof Off on this, keep the rag clean so it did not keep smearing that adhesive around, and that worked much better. So there we go. Well, some of you I know are asking, you know, why am I getting rid of this truck and looking for another one? This truck is 13 years old now. It's only got 108,000 miles on it. It's a 2006. It does have the Cummins in it. I love this engine. I have had no problems out of this engine. We replaced the water pump a couple of months ago. And that's all I've done to the engine. It's a good solid engine. It'll probably run forever. I don't know. It doesn't use DEF. I think this was the last year before we went to all of those environmental regulations for diesel engines. So I really do love this truck, especially the mega cab as well, but it's 13 years old. So at some point I'm going to have to start putting money into it, and I would just rather have a newer pickup truck. So that's what I've been doing. I've kind of been looking. The longest I've ever kept a truck, I think, was probably 15 years. Yeah, about 15 years is the longest I've ever had a truck. So I just want to get rid of this truck while it still has value. It's probably worth $20,000 to $25,000. So it's still got some value left in it. So why don't I just go ahead and trade it in now and trade up? The problem I'm having is finding the exact truck with the truck I want with the right options on it. The biggest hang up is the auxiliary switches. I'm not sure if Chevy, I think Ford does it. I'm not sure about Chevy. I have not seen them on Chevy trucks, but I know here on the Dodge, my 2016 Dodge has the auxiliary switches. It's 5 switches mounted on the dashboard or on the console, where you can attach additional things to the truck. Okay, that darn heater. I've turned it off now. I had it on so I could get the truck warm so those decals came off easier. So what I was saying, the auxiliary switches allows you to add other items to the truck without having to run wires through the firewall and add switches and all of that. It just makes it for a much cleaner operation. So on our 2016 Ram, we added the snowplow, the salt spreader, a couple of extra lights. that was really easy because we just went into the engine compartment. They have the console there where you just connect your wires to, switches already mounted inside. So just it makes for a much cleaner, easier installation. So that has been the number two option I've wanted on a truck. Number one is the diesel engine. Ram now has the 6.7 Cummins. Number two, auxiliary switches. Number three, mega cab. So those three, there was another option. Preferably four, preferably white. So I have been on the Ram website searching for the perfect truck with the right options. I have gone in a 1,000-mile radius, and it's just not there. So I got to the point that I was going to order the truck the way I wanted it. Well, that's not going to work either because Ram is in the middle of changing over to a newer style truck. And these trucks will be coming out in the next month or two. So, as a consumer, I cannot build to order my truck yet because I cannot get the old style truck, and the new style they're not building to order yet. They are, from what I'm learning, they are or have allowed dealers to build trucks and put them on order. But consumers cannot do a build to order yet. And I don't necessarily need the latest and greatest 2019 series trucks. Let them work the bugs out of that first. I like this 2018 styling. So that's what I'm after. So I have narrowed it down to about 3 pickup trucks. I've looked at a couple. I've drove one. So I am going to stick with the Ram. I do like the Ram trucks. Trying to stick with the mega cab. As I said, I've narrowed it down to 3. They're not the exact same thing I'm after, but they're pretty darn close. But auxiliary switches, that is the thing. It's been a challenge, but anyway. That's what I'm after, and that's why I'm getting rid of it. I thought about just trying to sell it outright, but I'll see. I've been offered $20,000 trade-in value by one dealer. That's a fair price for it. I can probably spend a little bit of time doing some detailing, cleaning it up, and sell it outright myself. Maybe get $23,000, $24,000 for it, but then it's the hassle of showing the truck and people calling you to say, hey, I'm going to come down and look at it, and then they never show up. You set up the time, they don't show up, or then they don't have the money, or they can't get the financing for it. And is it worth the $3,000 or $4,000 to me? Yeah. Not in this stage of my life. Yes, when I was 25 or 30 years old, I would have probably done it for $3,000, but at this stage in my life, I don't need to do that. So that's what we're going to do. I'll try to keep you posted on what's going on with the new pickup truck. All right. See ya.